morning, good afternoon, good evening, Alpha Traders. It's a sip on my ginger turmeric tea here. So delicious. Little agave. Can't go wrong. Beautiful sunny day in Carson City, Nevada, nestled in the foothills of the Sierra Nevada mountains, looking up to the Tahoe Basin. Gonna miss this place. Time is short here. Time is real short here. Might be out of here within 2 weeks. Shipping pod is going to arrive tomorrow. Start packing all my earthly possessions away in it to be shipped to my farm in southern Indiana. And all I got to do is close the slides on the crypto caravan and head east for a 2,000-mile voyage. It'll be pretty good. Hopefully I don't run into any bad weather. Shit, it's always an adventure crossing 80. All right, let's see here. What do we got going on in Bitcoin? Well, first thing we got going on in Bitcoin, I talked about yesterday having a pullback, bunch of bear div on the 4 hour, Are we going to get continuation to the upside after today? Was that just a pullback to get rid of? It's the same damn thing every time. These algos know how to liquidate people, right? There's a lot of over leveraged longs, probably once again, people. So we get a pullback. We actually get a daily candle backfill. Probably liquidated a lot of people, I would imagine, that did not take their profit. All fine and dandy, unless you're the one getting liquidated. Let's see here. I'm on my probability chart here weekly. We got one projection coming from the 60 to 29K pullback, 50% pullback here. Another projection from the 41K low. In this week of November 29th, when we did pull down into the 68.3 Laplace distribution range, I informed everybody, be prepared. We could be stuck in this range for a couple months. Hey, it's almost been a couple months, right? So Bilbo, how long are we going to be in here? Well, until we break the top side of the 68.3, which next week top side's about 55K. Week after that, it climbs about $500 every week, $500 to $700. Until we break the top side, close some daily candles above this weekly 68.3 Laplace distribution range. You can see what's going to happen now. Once we break through, we're going to get squeezed in between this projection, right? In between the mean and the bottom side of the 68.3 on the projection from this 60K high here before we dumped. So that'll be interesting to see how Bitcoin reacts here. That this babe, we could literally for the next few weeks range in this $14,000, $15,000 range. Just reckon, people, if you know what you're doing, there's a lot of money to be made, right? It's a no-brainer. But for people that aren't using volatility, probability, and statistics to trade, most of them are clueless. They're watching YouTube Jimmy, following his every word, getting wrecked because they're all grifters. We're going up, we're going down. Oh my God, look at this crazy legacy signal. Oh shit, we're going to the moon. Hey, so-and-so said he's buying Bitcoin. Blah, 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 as the algos push people around and liquidate their asses. I don't know, man. It's pretty crazy. But me and MJ thought about a good drinking game, a Bilbo Alpha Trading drinking game. You're going to need probably a half a gallon of whiskey, though, and you got to take a shot every time Bilbo says, YouTube Jimmy, or I'll tell you what. You got to take a shot of whiskey every time. So, all right, everybody get their glasses. Let's get ready here. So, yeah, we could be ranging. We could be ranging right here. Considering where we bounced from a couple times, the 68.3, I told everybody back here, once we got out of this week, I was like, hey, everybody's getting bullish again on this weekly candle. I was like, look, guys, we're going to retest this wick. Guarantee it. Think. Of course we did. This is 3 bounces off the bottom side of the 68.3 here. And, last week, when I was talking last week during those streams, I was telling everybody, I told them the number. I said, this is where Bitcoin's going. guarantee it. I throw out guarantees because I use the distribution probabilities. They always hit. The 95.4 Laplace distribution range at 40.6 last week hit within $5. We open up the new week. It tried to dip down a little bit below, actually almost got down to, I believe, the monthly first standard deviation, got within a couple $100 of it, bounced from there. Now here we are. Going into the end of this month, if Bitcoin's going to turn its ass around here, which this is everybody that watches the streams, it's going to change what you think about candles and the patterns they create forever. When you realize volatility is creating these candles, that's what creates these candles. And when you understand volatility, you won't get wrecked, right? A lot of people pattern trade and don't realize what's creating the pattern in the first place. And that's why they're like, this is a bullish pattern. This is a bearish pattern. But they literally have zero indicators that tell them about volatility. And volatility can change in an instant. When you trade volatility, it's going to help you get the inside read of what the algorithms are doing. Okay. Especially because volatility in itself is not a directional indicator. And there's only maybe a couple YouTube Jimmies out there, cue the drink, that even talk about volatility, but they don't correlate their volatility. They don't know that the volatility can become a directional indicator. And we have several indicators that show volatility that we correlate, right? Historical volatility Z-score, our alpha volatility radar. There's a lot of different things, especially with entropy, we're finding out now, right? We correlate our entropy to price action. We correlate our entropy percentile to price action. It's all very powerful tools for people to be using. But yeah, this monthly, Bitcoin, I would love to see Bitcoin close up here above the 68.3 Laplace distribution range, above 50,318. That's going to create a very, very good looking volatile candle for the bulls. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. And I'll tell you what, cue the drink. It's going to be a powerful move because that 50K, let's go back to the weekly here. Yeah, pretty sure it's like 95.4. That would, especially if we do it before this weekly close. You never know. It's only 7K. Bitcoin can do that. And literally, we've seen Bitcoin do $5,000 to $8,000, $10,000 moves in a couple 4-hour candles, let alone the rest of the week. That would close above this week's second standard deviation and 95.4% Laplace distribution range. They are pretty much right on top of each other within $213. You got the 95.4 Laplace at 49,650, second standard deviation 49,435. But obviously, first, we got to crack the 1SD on the weekly, which is at 45,633 right now. Those will fluctuate on the current candle reads. That's just the way it works. Okay, see here. But at the close of the candle, boom, they're solid. Sit here. What happened on the DRE today? We immediately opened up the new day, right? Yesterday, nice bullish day, right? But we closed these candles right here at the top side of the weekly price action volatility range. We reject right at the end of the day, bounced again off the top side of the first standard deviation. Open up the new day. Where do we go down and test? To the dollar, the 68.3 Laplace distribution range to the downside. These white cross lines, the area in between, that is the daily 68.3 Laplace distribution range. We bounce off there and eventually make our way up to the 68.3 to the top side. Tried to break away. Everybody that uses these indicators knows that these weekly ranges, daily ranges, monthly ranges, to be more exact, the weekly and the monthly, if you do not get your price action, I'm talking a large amount of price away from them, they are a magnet. They are a magnet for price action. Look what the price on Bitcoin did today. Went up, tried to get by the top side again, right? Like over here of the top side of the weekly and the 68.3 on the daily, pulled back, ran all the way, just blew right through the bottom side of the 68.3, came back up, tested it with 3 wicks, rejected down to the first standard deviation and the bottom side of the weekly volatility range. The rest of this week, from the price of $42,600 to $44,080, this is the battleground. This is where everything's going to be happening. Who's going to win? If the bulls can successfully close some 4-hour candles above the top side of this weekly volatility range and make a run towards that 45K area, that's the first standard deviation of the top side on the daily, it's going to continue to pull price back into this range. Same thing goes for the bears, right? You can see exactly what's going on. The bears are defending this area. The bulls are going to defend this area. This is how this is working. And you've got all the YouTube Jimmies out there, and that was plural, so you have to drink twice, that are going to not be talking about this range. They don't even know about it, right? They're using price action data sets, right? Trying to find support and resistance levels where we know those are worthless. The distribution is all that matters in any market. That's what the algos are trading, right? The retail traders are trading support and resistance lines that are created by using data sets, right? And they're all being taught that, right? It's like any new people that come into trading, they get funneled right into that traditional TA. So it's just insanity. They all learn the same stuff. And then they wonder why overall, a high percentage of them aren't making a penny. So, all right, let's see here. So what are we going to do coming into the end of the day here? This last 4-hour candle, obviously, we opened it up, immediately went down. This is the bottom side, first standard deviation on the 4-hour. It bounced from there. It would be nice for Bitcoin to get back up here and close inside the 68.3. We get a last like hour and 45-minute run up here, back up above like 43.4. And I'll show you something else. I talked about it yesterday. Let's drop to the 4-hour here. People that were watching or watched the stream are going to remember me talking about this. Populate. All right. First off, back here a couple days ago, I was talking about Bitcoin is going to have trouble with this reverse wave trend right here, right? Rejection, finally got up here above it, closed 1, 2, 3 candles above that reverse wave trend. Or that reverse wave trend, right? Had a little pullback here, went sideways, went up here. You can see how it was testing these different power mean levels, right? But then on this candle right here, yesterday, what did I talk about? I said the next nut that needs to be cracked is this reverse fissure, right? Look at it, to the dollar. It went up, tested the reverse fissure, and rejected hard. Now we're back down below the reverse wave trend again. Today it would be nice, this last 4-hour candle, have a nice pump and close up here above 43,000. I think it's 234, 43,234. Yep, that's the reverse wave trend. We did it once here, right? Great fake out, but we all know, this indicator, we're about to publish this bad boy too. We're just getting some things settled with it. This is a very complicated indicator. I'll give you an idea for you guys that are watching in the stream. I mean, look at the inputs. There's 5 different plots, right? There's 5 different plots in this indicator you can set up, plus the ribbon, right? So one of my plots is reverse fissure. One plot is a reverse wave trend. The other 3 plots are variance log moving averages. And then we have the ribbon that you can set. Now we're doing some changes on the ribbon. So we can actually make the ribbon a bunch of different variance log moving averages, but we have to have them have the color of the variance, right? Or it just makes 0 sense. You want to know what's going on with the log returns. That's the whole point of having a variance log moving average. So let's go Bitcoin. Let's go. You can look in the stream chat. I posted, let's go. He's a great guy. Let's do it. Okay. Let's actually bump all the way back over. Let's take a peek on the main trading chart on the 4-hour. Right? Here was all the bear div I was talking about yesterday. On the Z score log returns, right? Lower highs, higher highs on price action, lower highs on the return oscillator. Okay. Now what's setting up? Low, higher low, higher low, low, lower low, lower low, still a lower low. Returns oscillator's turning up. So now there's a bunch of hidden bull being built. The fissures are both turned down. This was another key too. When this 9-length fissure got up here above the third standard deviation band, it's a pretty powerful move. The one good thing here, though, the Deviation Log Pro really did not create any bear div. All right, it's a nice with price action, nice even run with it. As you can see, same thing with the Fisher. No bear div on the Fisher either. It was just on the log returns Z score and the returns oscillator. That's where we got it. Right now on the 4-hour, though, the Shannon entropy percentile, which we did publish yesterday for everybody that already has the indicators, you'll find that in your list now. Is what you're going to want to do, obviously, is throw a Pearson correlation underneath it. And by now, you all know how to correlate indicators to price action. If you don't, reach out in the chats. We'll show you how to do it. But this is what you want to do. And it acts just like the volatility. All the volatility scenarios roll right over onto the entropy percentile. Right now, right? We get this pullback because of the bear div. Entropy percentile expanded, negatively correlated. 3 4-hour candles down. But now, like I said, there is hidden bull divergence being built. Same thing with the log return Z score. But you sometimes when you get up this high, when you get up and you especially get outside the 99% confidence interval, this baby could come back down to the bottom. But that can happen. The log return Z score can come all the way down here. Price action can just meander around a bit. So we're going to have to see, are the bulls going to come back out? They're going to take control. I mean, we're having an outlier on the 4-hour right now to the downside. That needs to change. Let's see here. The APPs right now in this last 4-hour candle are turning up, right? And it looks, we can still contract negatively correlated. The positive correlation never got too high. So when, not if, when the volatility on this 4-hour, this is a low length, 636 AVR, when this does expand, you're going to want to see this positively correlated. You see right now, when we started getting this pullback, Z score of historical volatility was heading down, positively correlated. Another one of the scenarios that has to do with volatility, right? We know that. We know that. Just like when volatility contracts and it's positively correlated, price action walks down. 4-hour has not went into trend since this dump back here on January 5th. Last trend we had on the 4-hour. So the next time this entropy goes into trend, it's going to determine the direction this price action goes. I mean, you're right. I have my opinions of what I really think's going on. Everybody knows I don't share that stuff because I don't want people taking that information and just blindly trading it. Because volatility is what? It's in the word. It's volatile. It can change at any minute. So if you don't understand volatility and you're just watching me going, well, Bilbo said this is what was going to happen, and he's a good trader, so I'm just going to follow what he says. I'm fluid. That's the first thing you need to understand. I'm not in a bull or a bear gang. I always have my bias, but I usually don't share it. The reason is because of the volatility. You need to learn this stuff so you can take that information and apply it to your trading. 100%. It doesn't get any more random right now, the entropy. Okay, it doesn't get any more random.
Yeah. By the way, an easy way to trade without emotion, for especially for new traders, is to literally trade an asset that is volatile, liquid, and that you don't care about at all. Like, don't start trading on something you have strong emotions for either way. I don't know, trade some asset that you just don't care about, because that way you won't be emotionally attached and make all those silly mistakes human beings make when they first learn this stuff.
Yep. Let's see here. Also on the daily, what's set up on the daily? Hidden bear. Same time the bear dip was setting up on the 4 hour, the daily flashed some hidden bear. The Fishers are still heading up. Don't want to change it. Get off of there. Um, let's see here. Everything I'm seeing on the chart, except you can see what happened, right? Yesterday, we were expanding positively correlated these last few days going up. As soon as we get this big entropy percentile candle, goes negatively correlated. So, of course, we're going down. And we got a nice bright new candle on the correlation for just the entropy. And it started dropping again. Not trend. This is all random right now on a daily. It's all random. But I'm always go to hold on. And how did this little random Bitstamp BTC pair get way the hell up there? Come down here through BTC Brothers. There you go, little bugger. Okay. My watch list got jacked. There's a daily candle backfill I was just talking about. Right. Right here. This is typical too. If Bitcoin is turning around here because of go up to a macro time frame like a weekly and the bull div that rocket ship this week out of here. And I mean rocket ship, we were down to 49. But hey man, it was like $5,000 move to the top side. What I'm seeing on the weekly is telling me this was actually probably just a pullback to get rid of some of those over leveraged longs before this thing moves to the top. I want to see what happens at the weekly standard deviation of the top side, and that's a little over 45. I mean, we got within about $600 of it. Kind of stifled it though, right? Turned around. Probably wrecked a lot of people that didn't take their profits. And if you had an indicator like our VRE, you would know immediately. We, especially from this bottom side of this 68.3, and this thing starts climbing. If you did get in a trade, or even down here somewhere, take profit at the top side of the weekly volatility range. Did it go up a little bit above it? Yeah, but look what happened after it. Think about this. Think about if people are trading their traditional TA or the last few days, they've been long, right? They've been long since this move, and we got down to what was it? Oh, hell, it was even farther back than that. 39. There was the dip. It's way low. And we got down to 39, and they get back in their longs, right? Now here we are, current day. Back down. They're still not taking profits. They're still not taking profits. They're actually adding on every day. Now they're up to 50, 60, 70, 80. The degens that are 100x leverage. What do you think just happened to them? They got liquidated. Guarantee it. This is what new traders, they come in and they're just addicted to gambling. So they got to use leverage, and they don't understand when you continue to add on and not take your profit, the liquidation point is just climbing up right behind you, just tightening the gap. They get liquidated. Then they go cry on Twitter that the whales are manipulating price action when they're morons for using leverage. That's right. I called you morons. It's okay though. Hey man, everybody's got to learn. Let's see here. Go back. So yeah, on the weekly, we got this bull div, right? We've got this bull div. For crying out loud, the Fishers haven't even turned up yet. All right, Fishers have not even turned up yet. The historical volatility Z-score on the weekly's flat, negatively correlated. We all know what happens there. Price is going to walk up, and it has been. It has been. Is what we really want to see here. The reason why this thing really hasn't taken off, there's no volatility on the weekly candle. The volatility needs to come in. This needs to expand, positively correlated, not contract. This is one of the other reasons why this thing got up to like that 44K area, 44.4, and rejected. There's not enough volatility. You got to get the volatility up big time. But I've talked about this before on the weekly. The last trend Bitcoin had, the last time price action trended on Bitcoin was the run up from like 10K, 9,500 to the first 65K high. Okay. That was the last trend Bitcoin had. Since then, it's all been random on the weekly. And this is what I talked about before. The next trend that pops up on the weekly is going to determine whether Bitcoin is at probably 80 to 100K or down at 20K. I don't want to scare anybody, but it's just the truth of it. If this weekly goes back into trend, it's going to determine where this price is going to go, and it's going to go hard whichever way it goes. And to be honest, it's going to move harder. It's going to move faster and harder to the top side, right? We're a lot closer down to 20 than we are to 80 or 100. But just knowing the Bitcoin market and how much of a pullback we've already had, let's measure it one more time. See what it was when we got to that bottom. Yeah, 42%. That's a hell of a pullback, right? 42% pullback, hell of a pullback. Here was this big nasty one right here that was literally 50. And if we go all the way to the top back here, to that wick, 55% pullback. Just wrecking the shit out of people. But right after that, then what do? Then what's Bitcoin do? Let's go to this wick here, right? That was at the 29K low. Then we run up to 70. So we have a 55% pullback, but then it runs 136%. And now we're back at a 42% pullback. Are we understanding what the most volatile asset known to the world is? I mean, for crying out loud, it's Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin. Know it. My God, look at this. Woohoo, party time. From that 10K, what was that percentage? Let's see, right there at about 10. It's about 9,800. Up to that 65K area. It's a 558% move. Hello. Higher. I didn't go all the way to that wick. Yeah, probably about 600% move gain. Of course, people are going to take profit. Then we do another 136% move. Of course, people are going to take profit. At some point, mark my words, Bitcoin's going to be in six figures. And everybody's be going, God, I wish I would have got in a position down at blah, blah, blah. See, we don't worry about that crap. We trade the volatility on low time frames, most of us. We're chunking away at Bitcoin like Bitcoin chunks away at all the leveraged traders, chunks away at their bank account. I need another deposit. Fucking YouTube Jimmy said it was going to the moon. That was the ding ding you're supposed to drink there. That YouTube Jimmy, another one, said we're going to the moon. So I got 70x leveraged, and then we had a $2,000 pullback, and I got liquidated. People never learn, man. People never learn. Okay, Bitcoin. So that's what I'm seeing on the weekly. Right? That's what I'm seeing at the weekly. And something's going to give here on this variance on the weekly. Something's going to give. I mean, we got a little bit of a trend line working on these variance pops, pretty even to the downside. At some point, we're going to get in. I'll tell you what, the next pop in variance where you see an outlier like this or like this, right? You're going to see the entropy on the weekly probably drop in the trend. You're going to see the entropy percentile pop, fully expand like it did back here. And the correlation is going to tell you the direction, just like everything else we have. Our volatility, our entropy, everything, our variance, it's all correlated to price action. That's going to give you direction. It will not lead you astray. If you're confused about this, hell, you don't even have to join the Discord. Come into the public chat and tag me. You want me to show you some stuff to get you interested in this? Bring it, man. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I mean, it gets tiring trying to convince people of this when the whole time I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Why we got such a tight-knit group of people? Because to be honest, I'd give my shirt off my back to help people learn this, but I don't really care, if you want to be honest. You're on the other side of my trades right now. I like you there. You can stay there if you'd like. Your money supports my lifestyle. That should be a wake-up call, right? Got some crazy kook ball in his crypto caravan living the dream on you. It's all good though. If you're ready to make damn change, come over. We'll help you though. For God's sakes. That's why you don't see us. We're not pushing anything. We tell you where to find us. That's it. We're not trying to convince anybody. Ha! All right. Just for all that, everybody have another drink. Probably early, a little early for some people. Yasha, he can definitely have himself a little 3-finger whiskey. He's probably already sleeping at the keyboard by now anyway. It's pretty late over there. Oh yeah, it's like
No,
what,
I'm here, man. I'm
one in the morning or something. What the
rolling one up, man. Rolling one up.
nice, nice. All right, let's see here. That's enough of the weekly. We're getting closer to this 5-day candle close. Or did we have it? No, we didn't have it. Is it tomorrow? It is tomorrow. Wait a minute.
It's
No, it's the
tomorrow over
15th.
here. Yeah, it's Friday.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
15th. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here. I mean, because the bull div was on the 5-day too, on the returns oscillator. Let's see here. We're going to want to see this entropy percentile either continue to contract and stay negatively correlated or expand. It's about at the same level it was right back here, right? Or expand positively correlated. That little move right there went from about 29 to 51. Chump change, 20K. Not a big deal. Shannon entropy percentile told you exactly what was going on. Whole time though. The volatility told you what was going on. All right, let's see here. Which I really like this Shannon entropy percentile. I'll give a little secret here. I'm actually using it more than the volatility. It's powerful. That's all I got to say. That's why we wanted to get it out to all you guys in Alpha Trading. Without, I mean, obviously there's not a description until we get that description published. If you have any questions about it, just ask. Because see, this was tricky up here on, and this is a low length ABR, but look, we had the little bit of expansion here, right on the 5-day, positively correlated. But a majority of that move was a walk up because the volatility was flat, negatively correlated. I mean, the volatility indicator is a little harder to read, especially if you're new, than the Shannon entropy percentile. It's to be honest, since the construction of our projection bosses, this is the best thing since then, in my opinion, that these guys have created for us. It's just powerful, man. It really is. Very powerful indicator. You got to mess with it. Mess with the correlation lengths, right? Mess with the Shannon entropy lengths. And if you guys want to know that are watching right now, I've got my Shannon entropy length set on a 9. Everything else is pretty much default. But I've got my length on a 9, and everybody knows I like my correlation on a 5, right? But for more sustained long-term moves with not a lot of breaks in correlation, you can throw it on a 10. I would highly recommend not going higher than that. Okay. Get a 3-day today. No. We get a 3-day when we get a 5-day. The 3-day Fishers, though, right? 3-day Fisher was definitely flashing a lot of bull div. Lots of bull div. So is the return. So is the log return Z-score, but the Z-score hasn't even turned up yet. Another reason why we're not seeing continuation on this 3-day candle, right? It's actually been down. Like, come on, baby. Gotta turn this shit show around. I mean, at least we're not down there below 40. Because remember, I talked about this before. We close some daily candles below 40K. This baby's dropping. This baby's going to drop like a rock. We're probably going to see 30K, 32, maybe 32, something like that. That's what we don't want. But obviously, the bulls have a little bit of momentum. They better wake the hell up, though. They better wake up. Because these bears, I mean, look at this coming in the end of the day. This last 15-minute candle, right? It's trying to climb out. Whoop! So, but obviously, traditional markets got wrecked today. Right? Not gonna lie. At one time, SPY was down like almost 8 points, I think, about 1.6%. NASDAQ was down, I think, 500 points at one point. It's pulled back now. It's only down like 385, and that's the E-mini futures. So I'm keeping an eye on these E-minis. I want to see what these babies do coming into this into the nighttime over here on the West Coast. I want to see what these things do. Because these markets are freaking correlated, unfortunately. Get the hell out of here, you traditional pieces of garbage. Yeah, so what's Bitcoin trying to do right now, right? Besides having a little pullback here, crazy. And is it 240? Okay, I'm dropping down here. 2-day. Yeah, we get a new 2-day today. Nope, tomorrow. So tomorrow we get a 2-day. And then Saturday, my time, I think. Yeah, on the 15th. On the 15th, we get a 5-day and a 3-day. So tomorrow's the 2-day. Same thing on the 2-day we're seeing on the daily. Hidden bear. Hidden bear.
Tomorrow my time is the 15th because we just ended the 14th.
Yeah, you're in the future. You and Andy need to start giving signals.
That's right. By time point.
You're in the future, year 2000. Everybody doesn't realize that you're in the matrix and you're all being used as batteries. See here. I told you. Usually, when you get down moves like this and bull div builds on high time frames, if there's not a lot of volatility that pushes these, when the volatility will push this data set to pretty much get above the returns oscillator, when it's printing hidden bear, it's going to play out. If the volatility does not come in, it started. Look at these two-day candles. Hell, I mean, we've almost had a backfill on the 2-day candle. So this is kind of like, oh, the bulls, let's go. And then they just shit the bed. They better wake up. They better wake up. This is not going to be the low. This will not be the low. It'll take another shot down there at that 40K area for sure, 100%. They better step it up. One good thing is the new daily price action volatility range is going, and this is what just really really irks me too about Bitcoin. We work real hard. I was talking in the beginning of the week of getting the new daily price action volatility range up above the center. We did. Here's the center of the weekly. Today's was above it. Today's daily price action volatility range. We're getting ready to drop back below it. Now the daily price action volatility range is going to be below. It's probably just going to flip flop right to the other side now, like in this range. It might be a little bit higher. There was a lot of volatility, but where's most of the volatility? Let's be honest. We had this nice run right here. And then we have bam, bam, bam. Bitcoin I'm telling you right now too. It's what the bears are trying to do going into the end of the day. What do you think this push is all about? The bulls wanted to close the daily above the top of the weekly volatility range. The bears are like, up your ass. Here comes the red dildo. The bears want to close it below the weekly. I'm telling you, this is the battlefield. Whoever wins this and separates themselves from this weekly volatility range, this is going to determine whether or not we do go up to that 45, 50K area, or we drop down to yeah, 32 maybe. 32, very possible. Make a run back down to the first standard deviation normal distribution, like 39, like we just did. But yeah, I mean 32 is screaming, but it could play out on the weekly. So is what you want to do is look at some of these weekly ranges. Where's the 95.4 in the second standard deviation? 36. The 95.4 Laplace is a 36.443 second standard deviation, about 35.9. That could be the first move. And I'm telling you, so it's probably what's going to happen going into this weekend and into the last day of the traditional trading tomorrow. Whether or not Bitcoin goes to 50K or 36K is going to depend on okay, it's going to depend on whether the bulls can close up above the top of 44, above this weekly range, or the bears can start closing below this 42.6 area. But telling you that this is a magnet. So unless they really put some distance, here's what I'm saying too. They know this too, right? The ones that are moving this market know this shit. I'm surprised one of them hasn't done it yet. The rubber's meeting the road tonight and tomorrow. Somebody's going to make a push, right? We're either going to go to 45, 50K, or we're going to go down to about 36K, depending on who makes the harder push to get away from this weekly price action volatility range. That's what this is all about. That's what this is. That's what all this is here. The push to the top side, then the rejection down here. Now it's coming into the end of the day. They're pushing this thing back down below the weekly. We don't want to close the day today below here. That's exactly what the bears are trying to do. You're going to listen to YouTube Jimmy. Ding, drink time. They're not going to be talking about these numbers. These numbers aren't popping up on their charts. They have no clue about this weekly price action volatility range. They damn sure don't know about the probabilities, especially the correct probabilities. People, if you're out there making these probability indicators, you're missing something that you don't understand. We'll never give the secret out. There's only one other guy that's cracked it, right? There's only one other guy that's cracked it, and our math guy are the only two people I know that have made correct deviation indicators because they understand what the problem was to begin with on the biggest trading platform in the world right now, where everybody charts, right? Where you go into Pine and you try to build these indicators. That's just a little hint. But yeah, There is a big misconception. These people think they're building because there's other people building similar indicators, and they're wrong. They're not the right levels because they're not understanding what's wrong to begin with, what needs to be changed, what needs to be built from scratch. That's why many have tried and failed building them.